My name is Celine. I am 25 years old. I live in a quiet, small town. My family is not rich, but we have a good life. My parents are very strict, and they are religious. They taught me many things about life and love. From a very young age, I learned that love is a pure thing. They also said that marriage is sacred, a very special bond. Because of my parents' lessons, I grew up with a strong belief. I believed I must wait for marriage. This meant I never dated anyone. I never had a boyfriend. I never went to a party with a boy. My lips had never touched another person's lips. I had never been kissed. This was my choice, based on my family's teachings. At college, some of my friends were different. They dated often. They talked about their boyfriends. Sometimes they laughed a little at me. They called me old-fashioned. But I did not feel bad. I did not care what they thought. I felt sure in my heart about my path. I believed in my values. I always had a hope inside me. I believed my heart would know. It would know when the right man came into my life. I imagined a true love story for myself. A love that was honest and deep. I wanted to find a partner who understood my beliefs, someone who would respect my choice to wait. I dreamed of a wedding day, a beautiful day, full of joy and promises. I did not want to rush into anything. I wanted to be patient. I trusted that good things take time. I trusted my own feelings and my faith. My life in the town was simple and calm. I spent a lot of time with my family. I enjoyed my studies. I read many books and learned about the world, but the idea of true love was always in my thoughts. It was a quiet, warm hope. I knew that other people lived differently. They had many relationships before marriage. They chose their own way, but my way was special to me. I chose to save my heart. I wanted to give it completely to one person. That person would be my husband. Together, we would build a happy life. I waited for that special moment. I waited with a hopeful heart. Now I am 25 years old. My life is moving forward. I feel ready for love, but it must be the right kind of love. A love that respects what I believe. A love that is meant to last forever. I feel strong in my decision. It is a very important part of who I am. My journey is unique. It is my own story. I do not know what tomorrow will bring, but I am ready for it. One day, I went to a coffee shop in the city. There, I met a man named Mark. He was tall and looked very confident. He had a handsome face and a bright smile. He wore an expensive suit. When he smiled at me, my heart beat fast. I felt shy, but he started talking to me. He said he liked my simple clothes and my soft voice. I felt a new feeling inside me. He made me feel special. From our first meeting, later, I told my friend Clara about Mark. Clara knew many people. She listened to my story. Then she gave me a warning. She said, "Celine, be careful. Mark is known as a playboy. He doesn't stay with one girl." Those words made me worried. I didn't want to believe it. I hoped Clara was wrong. I wanted to believe Mark was different. Despite Clara's words, I kept thinking about him. I felt a strong pull toward Mark. I believed that love had great power. I thought true love could change a person's heart. I hoped if I loved him, he would change for me. I wanted to believe people could become better because of love. I felt my love could be strong enough to make him a new man. I truly hoped he was special. For me, Mark started to call me every day. We talked for a long time. He sent me beautiful reds, flowers, and boxes of sweet chocolates. Every gift made me feel happy and special. He always knew the right words to make me smile. He sent me sweet messages and made me feel thought of. He showed me attention. He made me feel important. I had never felt so special in my life. It was a wonderful, new feeling. I started to think, this was the man my heart had been waiting for. I truly began to believe God had sent Mark to me. I wanted to believe with all my heart that he loved me. His kind words, his thoughtful gifts made me feel loved. I began to dream of a happy future. I felt my lonely days were over. I felt happy and excited about us. Mark arranged a special evening for us. He took me to a fancy restaurant, a place I had never been before. The atmosphere was elegant, soft lights, quiet music. I wore a beautiful red dress. For the first time, it made me feel different, grown up. Mark looked at me and said, I looked wonderful. His words made my heart feel light and happy. We talked easily, sharing many laughs. He made me feel like the most important person in the room. It was a perfect night, like something from a movie. After dinner, Mark drove me home. The night air was cool. The car was quiet. He stopped just a little way from my house. He turned to me, his eyes deep in the dim light. Celine, he said softly, I can't stop thinking about you. My heart started to beat very fast. Then he leaned closer, and before I knew it, his lips were on mine. It was my first kiss. His lips were soft. And for a moment, the world disappeared. I felt a strange mix of excitement and surprise. My body trembled. I knew this was a big moment, one I had imagined only after marriage. But in that second, I didn't pull away. I let myself feel it. When the kiss ended, I felt many things at once: sweet happiness and guilt. My family's teachings echoed in my mind. I thought about my parents, what they would say. I wondered, had I done something wrong? Something I'd regret? That night, sleep didn't come easily. I lay awake, thinking about Mark, the kiss, my beliefs. I prayed, asking for understanding. I told myself, this was love. I wanted to believe. My heart was guiding me, even if it felt confusing. The next day, Mark called again. He wanted to see me right away. When we met, he wanted to be closer. He whispered words. Intense, almost too much. It felt like things were moving too quickly, faster than I was ready for. I remembered my promise to wait. I looked at him, took a deep breath. No, Mark, I said. I want to wait. I want to wait until we are married. He paused, then smiled warmly. He looked into my eyes and said, then we will marry soon, Celine. Very, very soon. His words filled me with hope. I thought he understood my heart. I believed his promise completely. I truly thought he was serious about our future together. I didn't know then that his words were not from his heart. A week passed quickly. After Mark's promise, my heart felt light and full of dreams. Then one day, Mark called me. He said he had to go to Las Vegas for work. Come with me, he said. Let's get married there. I don't want to wait any longer. I couldn't believe his words. My dream, the one I had waited for my whole life, was coming true. My family always taught me about sacred marriage. And now, Mark wanted to marry me. He wanted it fast. In Las Vegas, it wasn't the big church wedding I had imagined, but it was Mark. And he loved me. At least, I believed he did. I said yes, my voice soft. but my heart loud with joy. We flew to Las Vegas. A few days later, it was a very different place from my quiet home. The city was bright, full of lights and noise. I felt a little lost, but Mark held my hand. I wore a simple white dress I bought just for that day. It wasn't fancy, but it felt special. Mark looked at me and smiled. We found a small wedding chapel. It wasn't big or grand, but it felt warm inside. A man stood there. He was ready to marry us. There were not many guests, just Mark and me. We stood together. The man spoke kind words. Mark looked into my eyes. He said his vows, and I said mine. Then the man said, "You are now husband and wife." Mark kissed me. "Now you are mine," he whispered. I felt like the happiest woman in the world. I was Celine Dalton. That evening was our wedding night. I thought it would be perfect. We were married. I was finally with the man I loved. But something felt wrong. Mark seemed different. He was not as warm as before. He looked into my eyes, but his look was not the same. He started to drink a glass of wine, then another. He took his phone and went to another room to talk. He stayed there for a long time. I sat alone in our hotel room. The bright lights of Las Vegas shone outside the window. I felt a strange coldness in my heart. I was married, but I felt very, very alone. The happiness I felt earlier slowly started to fade away. I wondered why Mark was so distant. Was this how married life was? I hope not. The morning came, but it was not a happy one. Mark did not look at me. He seemed busy. He left the room without a word. I felt confused. I waited for him to come back. I waited for a long time, for many hours. The sun moved across the sky. I sat alone in the hotel room. My new wedding dress was still on the chair. I thought about our fast wedding, our promises. I tried to understand why he was so quiet. My heart felt a little cold. Finally, Mark came back. His face was serious. He did not smile. He did not look at my eyes. He spoke in a cold voice. He said, "I want a divorce." My mind stopped. I thought he was joking. I waited for him to laugh, but he did not laugh. He was very serious. My heart started to beat very fast. This was not a joke. He truly meant it. He continued to speak. His words were sharp. "You are not what I wanted," he said. "You are too simple. You do not belong in my world." Each word was like a small knife. My heart broke into many pieces. I could not believe what I was hearing. Just yesterday, we were married. Just yesterday, he said I was his. Now, he said I was too simple. He said I did not fit in his life. My dream was broken. It was truly a nightmare. He even mocked me. He said, "You waited all your life for marriage, and look what it gave you." His words made me feel very small and foolish. I felt a deep pain inside. Tears started to fall from my eyes. I cried for a long time. I cried for many days after that morning. I tried to call Mark, but he never answered. He did not want to talk to me. He was gone from my life. I had to go back home. I traveled alone. I had nothing with me, only my simple wedding ring. When I arrived, my family was shocked. They were very angry. They said I had shamed them. They said I was careless for marrying so fast. They did not want to see me. They did not want to talk to me. I felt like my life had ended completely. Everything I believed in was gone. My family, my husband, my future, all lost in one sad morning. I was alone, with my broken heart. After what happened, I felt lost. I had no home to go to. My good friend Clara offered me help. She lived in a small apartment in the big city. She said I could stay with her. It was a kind offer, and I took it. I packed my few things and moved. Clara was a true friend. She helped me look to the future. Life in the city was very different. It was busy and loud. Clara helped me find a job quickly. I started working in a bookstore. It was a quiet place. I liked books, so the job was good for me. I spent my days arranging books, helping customers, trying to forget Mark and the pain. I wanted to start a new life. Every day I worked hard. I hoped time would heal my heart. One afternoon, a customer came into the bookstore. He put a magazine on the counter. My eyes went to the cover. There on the front was a photo of Mark. My heart jumped. He was at a big party. A beautiful woman stood next to him. The words on the cover said, "Businessman Mark Dalton's Secret Marriage." My hands began to shake. I picked up the magazine. I looked at Mark's face. He looked very important. I read more about him. It said he was a very rich businessman. He had many companies. He was famous in the city. I never knew this. He never told me about his wealth. A new feeling grew inside me. It was not just sadness. It was anger. I understood then. He had used me. He married me. But I did not know why. Maybe it was a joke to him. He made me believe he loved me. He broke my heart. Now I saw. He was a powerful man. My mind became clear. I did not want to cry anymore. I wanted justice. I decided I would not let him get away with it. This was my new life, and I would fight for it. Celine felt a new strength. She wanted to fight for what was right. She knew her marriage to Mark was real. So she decided to get help. She went to a lawyer. The lawyer listened carefully. Celine showed him the wedding papers from Las Vegas. The lawyer told her, "Your marriage is legal. You have rights." This gave Celine hope. The lawyer helped her. They prepared papers to ask for financial support from Mark. Celine was not greedy. She asked for money because Mark had hurt her. He had used her and left her with nothing. This was about justice and her dignity. When Mark got the legal papers, he was very angry. He called Celine. His voice was cold. "Do you think you can take my money?" he asked. Celine felt scared, but she spoke clearly. She said, "You took my heart. Now I take what I deserve." She hung up. She felt proud for standing up to him. The news about their case spread fast. Many people knew. The story became public. Reporters came. They asked questions. Mark was furious that his life was in the papers. But Celine stayed calm. She focused on the court case. Her lawyer worked hard for her. Finally, the court made a decision. Celine went to court and spoke. Mark was there. After hearing everything, the judge decided. Celine won the case. The court said Mark had to give her money. This money was not just for her needs. It was a sign. It showed that Mark could not treat people badly and get away with it. Celine felt relief. She had fought back. She had shown him he could not ruin her and walk away. She had won her dignity back. This victory made her feel stronger. She knew she had done the right thing. When the news about the court case spread, my parents called me. They said, "Celine, please come home. We forgive you for everything." Their words were kind, but I knew I could not go back to my old life. I had changed a lot. I told them, "I love you very much, but I must live my own life now. I need to be independent." It was a hard conversation, but I felt strong after saying it. I was no longer the same girl who left home full of shame. I had found my voice. I used the money I won from the court case. First, I found a small apartment for myself. It was not big, but it was mine. It had one bedroom, a small kitchen, and a living room. I bought simple furniture. and decorated it with plants. It felt like a fresh start. This apartment was a symbol of my new freedom. I could make my own choices now, without anyone telling me what to do. It was a wonderful feeling. Then I decided to go back to my studies. I had always loved books, and working in the bookstore had made me want to learn more. I started taking classes online. My dream was to open my own bookstore one day. I wanted a place where people could find peace and happiness in stories, just like I did. This new goal gave me energy and hope for the future. Life was very different now. I still believed in love, but not in the same way. I learned that true love needs respect. If there is no respect, love cannot last. Mark had not respected me, and that was why our marriage failed. This lesson was very important. I would remember it always. Sometimes I still saw Mark in magazines, his face on the covers of business journals. He looked the same, proud, and maybe a little empty. But when I saw his photo now, I did not feel hurt. There was no pain in my heart. The anger was gone too. I had let it all go. I felt truly free. I was stronger than before. I had learned so much about myself. I knew who I was, and I liked that person. My soul was still pure, untouched by the bad things that happened. No one could take that away from me. I was Celine, and I was finally living my own life. On my own terms, I was happy. I was free.